जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी। जय यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी। जय यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय। जय राधा वल्लभ श्री राधे। Jaya Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Sri Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Prala Narsimhadev Prala Narsimhadev Prala Narsimhadev Prala Narsimhadev. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. श्री श्री गौरीताई की, श्री श्री राधोल भगवान की, श्री 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 जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रमाणी की, शिल प्रभुपाद की, निताय गोपनंदे। हरे कृष्णा। So today we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 10, verse number 50. The subject matter of today's verse is who can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if you read this verse and then what is it really trying to answer, what is it trying to say? So essentially it is an answer for question, who can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Verse number 50. So let us read word by word first, then we'll read the full verse. So before we move ahead, let's invoke auspiciousness. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Verse number 50 from chapter 10 of Canto 7 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. The title of the chapter is Prahlad, the best among the exalted devotees. Verse by word by word. Na yasya sakshat bhava padmaja adibihi rupam dhiya vastutaya upavarnitam maunena bhaktya upasamena pujitaha prasidatam isha saha satvatam patiha nayasya sakshat bhava padmajadibi nayasya sakshat bhava padmajadibi rupam diha vastulya upavasnitam rupam diya upastuta upavarnitam maunena bhakto upasmena pujitaha Maunena bhakto upasemena pujitah. Prasidatmam esha sa sattvatam patiha. Prasidatam esha sa sattvatam patiha. Nayasya sakshat bhava padmajadibi. Rupam diha vasutato pavarnitam. Maunena bhakto pasamena pujitah. Prasidatam esha sa sattvatam patiha. Nayasya sakshat bhava padmajadibi. Rupam diha vasutayopo upavarnitam. Maunena bhaktya upasamena pujitah. Prasidatmam esha sa sattvatam patiha. Nayasya sakshat bhava padmajadibi. Rupam diha vasutayo upavarnitam. Maunena bhakto upasamena pujitah. Prasidatam esha sa sattvatam patiha. So you can repeat. Nayasya sakshat bhava padmajadibi. Rupam diha vasutayo pavarnitam. Maunena bhaktya upasamena pujitah. Prasidatam esha sa sattvatam patiha. Word to word translation. Na, not. Yasya, of whom. Sakshat, directly. Bhava, Lord Shiva. Padmaja, Lord Brahma. Born from the lotus. Adibihi, by them and others also. Rupam, form. Diya, even by meditation. Vastutaya, fundamentally. Upavarnitam, described and pursued. Maunena, by samadhi. Deep meditation. Bhaktaya, by devotional service. Upasamena, by renunciation. Pujitaha, worshipped. Prasadatma, may he be pleased. Esa, this. Sa, he. Sattvatam, of the great devotees. Patiha, the master. Translation. Exalted persons like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma could not properly describe the truth of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. May the Lord, who is always worshipped as the protector of all devotees by great saints who observe vows of silence, meditation, devotional service and renunciation, be pleased with us. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki. The absolute truth is sought by different persons in different ways, yet he remains inconceivable, Nonetheless, devotees like the Pandavas, the Gopis, the cowherd boys, Mother Yasoda, Nanda Maharaj, and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan do not need to practice conventional process of meditation to attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for He remains with them through thick and thin. Therefore, a saint like Narada, who understanding the difference between transcendentalists and pure devotees, always prays that the Lord will be pleased with him. Om Ajnana-trimindasya Jnananjala-salakaya Chaksurulmitam ena Tasme Sri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnapadaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamini Namaste Saraswadevi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachata Desha Tarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivanda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this verse 50, so in the context of few previous verses, as you all know, so this chapter started with inquiry of Yudhishthira with Narada. Narada explained how the demonic personalities such as Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, then later on Ravana and Ramachandra, and later on Sisupal and Dandavakra. So how they have appeared. So he is explaining. Then finally he comes to explaining exalted quality of Prahlad. So at that time, Narada felt that looks like Yudhishthira is feeling that, oh, Prahlad is such excellent quality. I am so much fallen, I am not able to reach that level of devotion to Supreme Lord. So that time, Narada understanding heart of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So therefore he starts saying that, so you are also exalted devotee because Lord Krishna has stayed with you, He is your relatives and He is with you during difficulties and He is with your kingdom. As a result, even the great sages are visiting your kingdom or your palace very often. So he pacifies him that you are also advanced devotee. And in yesterday's previous verse, he also mentioned about people realizing Supreme Lord as Paramatma in different forms. So and today's verse is furthermore, he's saying that understanding Krishna is not easy. So you can see, so today's verse says, Bhava Padmaja Dibi. So Padmaja, one who has appeared from lotus. Who appeared from the lotus? Brahma. So when Lord Vishnu was lying on causal ocean, from his lotus, from his navel, lotus appeared, and the lotus, there is a personality. And that personality is Brahma. And then Bhava. Bhava means Shiva, Lord Shiva. Even Lord Shiva and Brahma are not able to describe or understand that clearly Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now, this Brahma, so what is the lifespan of Brahma? See, our lifespan, maximum 100 years. Yes, Surabhi? Maximum 100 years? So maximum 100 years we live. Whereas Brahma lives something like more than 311 trillion years of our time. He also lives 100 years. But this 100 years is actually 311 trillion years. Millions, billions and trillions. So trillions of trillions years, almost seems like life of the universe. One yuga cycle. So this is so many years he lives. Even such a powerful living entity like Brahma, he is not able to understand, not able to fully describe the qualities of Supreme Bhagavan. Now think about us. Can we understand who Supreme Lord is? So this is the, first part is talking about. So, Nayasya Sakshat Bhava Padmajabi. So, the way they pursue. And not only that, he also said, Abhidhabi. By them and also others. Not only Brahma and Shiva, even others also not able to understand. Who are the others? Other Devata, such as Indra. So as a result, they also committed or bewildered several times. Say for example, if you look at Brahma, so Brahma has, huge mystic power. Through his mystic power, he can see what is happening in his loka, Brahma loka. He can also see what is happening in Artha loka. He can also see what is happening in Patala loka. Such mystic power Brahma has. Because Brahma also has performed tapas. When you perform tapas, meditating on Supreme Lord, certainly from Supreme Lord, you also get mystic power. Because Supreme Lord Krishna, he has got unlimited mystic power. So in Bhagavad Gita, last verse, we say, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. Yogeshwara Krishna. So one who is a master of all mystic power in unlimited quantity. Obviously, if you meditate on him, you also imbibe, attract all those qualities. So Brahma has those qualities. And this verse says, even Brahma cannot pursue 100% or completely superficial Godhead. So, whereas living entities, we are just a tiny, compared to Brahma, a tiny. Our lifespan is like a speck. Compared to Brahma is the, universe, and our lifespan compared to only like a speck. And we hardly have any mystic power, no mystic power. So how can we pursue if Brahma is not able to pursue? So there are some examples where even Brahma got, bewildered. Say for example, when Krishna appeared as a covered boy in Vrindavan, so in Vrindavan as a small baby, Kamsa sent so many demons. So many demons he sent. Putana. So then Putana's brothers, other sisters, relatives, Kamsa sent so many demons. And one of them was Aghasura. Aghasura was a huge snake. And this demon Aghasura was known to be very powerful. Even the Devatas used to fear this Aghasura. And Kamsa said, okay, Aghasura, you go, because previously they went so many other. They were not successful in killing Krishna. So Aghasura came. And then of course, what did he do? Usually all this Krishna and Krishna's friends, Gopas, what do? Morning. So when they're morning, they get up, freshen up, then they go to Vrindavan, like forest. Giri Govardhan forest, another forest. There are so many forests around Vrindavan. They go to forest. What do they do with the forest? Actually, they take their cow. Nanda Maharaj had thousands of cows, almost like 1 million cows, 900,000 cows. Imagine, 900,000 cows and calves, many of them, they all go to this forest for gazing. Then along with them, Krishna goes, Balaram goes, then of course the friends of Krishna go also, because they also have cows from their houses, they also bring cows, all of them go together. So it is a beautiful sight. If you see many gopis and Vrindavanatis, when Krishna, Balaram, all the gopas and cows were going to Vana, the forest, at that time everyone was so happy, they come out of their house and see them. So they go there, and there obviously sometimes this Kamsa sends some demons to trouble all these gopas. And of course Krishna, he somehow, Kamsa thought, Krishna is his agent of death. So therefore he wanted to finish the agent of death. So therefore he sent so many demons, and one of them is this Aghasura. Anyway, this Aghasura, as you all know, so Aghasura, he opened his mouth and stood in one green place. So all these Gopas thought, oh, this is nice cave, new cave. Let us explore. Krishna said, don't go. But they still went. Inside they went. Then Krishna thought this is a danger. So therefore Krishna also entered to protect them. So Krishna is the Bhaktivedanta, protector of devotees. And which is also mentioned in this verse as well. Lord Krishna, who is that says, Lord Krishna is always worshipped as protector of all devotees. So many are worshipping Krishna, many are worshipping to Narasimhadev. Why? Because he is the protector of devotees. Bhaktivedanta. When the devotees are in danger, devotees are in danger because of the demons. Demons who are irreligious, they want to establish their own supremacy, they want to be controller. So if anyone who is not following their controlling power, they will try to kill. So the protection comes from Lord. So this Supreme Lord, so there also in Aghasura pastime, Krishna wants to protect all the Gopas. So he, of course, we have very detailed pastime of how Krishna has actually killed that Aghasura, very powerful personality. But anyway, this news of killing Aghasura went Devalokas. And all these Devalokas, this heavenly planet, for example, Indra, were overjoyed. And then Chandra, Varuna, all these many millions and millions of devatas. Then, of course, this news also went to Brahma. They said, hey, one small covered boy in Vrindavan looked like he is the Supreme Bhagavan and he is able to kill so easily all these demons. So this has surprised, Brahma. Brahma with all mystic power. Even he got also bewildered. How is it possible? Let me witness, let me test. So from all the way from Brahmaloka, he took his Hamsa vehicle and came here. So he comes at the speed of his thought, mind, correct? So like we are here, a tiny living entity, correct? And we want to be in, say, Mayapur, or we want to be in, let us say, New York. So it will take us many hours at least. Even if you take aeroplane, it takes at least 24 hours to reach there. Whereas for Brahma, in a moment he can reach. So Brahma, so he appeared there at the forest where all these Gopas were there. At that time, what were they doing? First he sees, all these Gopas are simply covered boys. Dirty. Covered boys wearing some simple dhoti and running around, jumping around in mud and here, there. Body was all here and there mud. And all of them sat together below a tree, then having lunch together. And then Krishna also was there. Then he says, here is one bright boy, but he is all around all these poor boys, covered, dirty. Even Krishna is also not fully looking like a Supreme Narayana clean. So he thought, how is it possible? He can be a Supreme Person of Godhead. And then on top of it, all these Gopas, they brought bhoga from home, prasada from home. Their mothers, in village, usually in the morning, around 9 o'clock or so, if you start taking your cows, along with that, they also make, some roti, sabzi, everything, they make a pack and give it to you. So that lunchtime you can have it, so that meal. So everybody brought their own kit. So then sat together, they all opened kit. Then obviously these Gopas are in love with Krishna. So they are with Supreme Person of Godhead. And they are in prema stage. All the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they are all prema stage. So they are in love with Krishna and they are fully, their joy is to see Krishna pleased. That is their joy. They said, oh, let me eat gulab jamun first, then Krishna later. No. They said, let Krishna have this. Just by feeding Krishna, they are feeling so much of joy, so much of satisfaction. And they were actually feeding Krishna. Okay, Krishna, so here is a glass of water my mother has given. Please drink. Drink like that. They are giving him and then feeding. So this has further bewildered Brahma. Brahma is thinking, usually Brahma is used to Lord Narayana. So Lord Narayana with awe and reverence, correct? And when Narayana appears, he appears in his opulent form with golden kirita, then of course various kavachas, then very nice yellow dhoti, holding chakra, padma, gada, shankha. Then along with that so many other devotees come, and then others with so much of reverence, awe and reverence. Like if Prime Minister of the country comes, he won't come alone to the temple. Even the Premier won't come alone. Or what to speak, Premier, opposition leader won't come alone. During Janmashtami, we see various politicians coming here. Do they come alone? No, they come in opulent dress, suit, boot and all very nicely. Then along with them, their personal assistants and others also come, even in small place like here. Whereas Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is owner of all the worlds, Sarvaloka Maheshwar, correct? Who is the cause of all causes? Such person with so much of opulence. Whereas here this boy, little covered boy, then with all the dirty friends around, plus he is all mud and all things around there. So he thought, let me test anyway. Now that I have come from Brahma Loka to here, so let me do some small test. So meanwhile, when all this Krishna and Gopas were having this lunch, at that time cows, what did they do? Cows by their nature, okay, they will go around and they will see a little more green grass, little far away, then far away. We say, the grass on the other side is more greener. So cow also were thinking like that. So initially they were all gazing around the boys, but they started going here and there. They went around dispersed so far distance. So the lunch finished, then all these Gopas and friends of Krishna, they said, okay, let's go and get our cows. So they went on for several kilometers walk, they could find. So what actually happened? At that time, Brahma stole some of those cows. He says, I want to test. If he is Supreme Person Godhead, something magic should happen, mystics would happen. So he stole some of those and put them in a cave. And some of them said that he transported them to his Brahmaloka also. Then what about Gopas? He said, oh, no, Gopas are coming in search of these cows. Let me capture them also. So he took some of those Gopas as well and put them in that cave, hidden. Now, so this went on. After that, Krishna waited for up to evening. Neither cows came, nor these friends have come. Krishna thought, what do I do now? Of course, Krishna is the knower of everything. The past, the present and the future. So Krishna understood. So this Brahma trick. So now he has to go back to home. So when you, for example, you go with your friends and everybody, morning you come from a house, when you go back in the evening, but some of your friends are missing, cows are missing. So it is a serious concern. What happened to them? So therefore, Krishna thought, no. I need to make sure that all those who came with me, they also come back. So what did Krishna do? Krishna expanded himself, into various Vishnu form, and then turned each of those form into exactly like his Gopa friends and the cows. You see, this is amazing, correct? Imagine, some of your friends is missing, you know that you're there, but parents will become worried. The moment you come, where is my son, where is my cow? They're worried. What happened to him? They will inquire Krishna. So therefore Krishna expanded himself and assumed those forms. Then went there. So when all these cows and cows come back, the mothers usually, when their Gopas come back, and then they will run and hug them. Oh, my son has come. Now took care of these cows. Then cows are very happy, correct? And then they all feel very happy. And then of course Krishna is there. They will see Krishna and hug also, very happy. So then that day, all the mothers, they were hugging their Gopa, they were feeling even more joy. Their joy has actually multiplied by thousands of times. Why? The Krishna actually assumed the form of their son. Then they are enjoying, they are having direct touch with the Krishna. Earlier they were only seeing, oh Krishna, Mother Yasoda's son. How Mother Yasoda is very, fortunate. Correct? So they all are saying, Mother Yashoda is very fortunate. She got Krishna as their son. So usually if you have got a devotee, so many devotees, if somebody has a very nice daughter, very nice son, well behaved, attending Śrīmad Bhāgavatam every day, correct? Everybody will be pleased. Not only the congregation, even the Maharajas are pleased. Correct? Maharaj will be happy. Oh, here is one devotee, comes to every Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, comes to Mangalarati, hears the class, and then asks a question, pertinent, relevant question. So that will enlighten others also. So like this, they were feeling very happy. Because of that desire that Mother Yashoda has a son, Krishna, and Krishna want to fulfill the desire. How? This is one of the pastime. So he expanded himself. Then came in the form, just looked like their son, but actually Krishna. So their desire also fulfilled. So you can see, even though they are Brahma bewildered, so to overcome that situation, Krishna expanded himself and assumed those forms, but he also fulfilled other devotees' desire. So here multiple desires are fulfilled. So Krishna is pleased. He said, Narada is saying that, oh Lord, let Lord be pleased with us. So whereas these inhabitants of Vrindavan, so they are always in love with Krishna, prema platform. So then of course any desire they have got, Krishna will fulfill them. They don't have to know that they fulfilled, but he can do all of this. So this is the mystic power. So he is a Yogeshwara, mystic power, I think. Anyway, so like this they were deriving pleasure, then come back, almost 1 year over. So then Brahma thought, what is happening? Let me come and see. He comes and sees, first he checks what is happening in the cave. Okay, everything is all right, same cows and they are there. Because through his mystic power, he put them into sleep state. So, because Brahma is also master of mystic powers, so he put them into, samadhi. So yoga nidra. So in yoga nidra, they don't even know that so much time has passed. Anyway, he just kept, let them be there. Then he went to this pasture ground where Krishna and others are there. And he says that all the cows are there and all the gopas are there. He was even further bewildered. He wanted to reconfirm. He said, what is this? Then again through his mystic power he saw in the cave. Oh, they are there, still here. Then he realized his position. He realized that, yes, this covered by little boy, looking after this cow, Krishna is actually Supreme Person of Godhead. Then he come to his senses, then immediately, what did he do? Immediately he surrendered to Krishna. Krishna, please forgive me. The moment he said, at that time, immediately all those gopas were assumed the form of Vishnu. So this way he can know. So this way Brahma can know how Krishna has made all of this possible. So form of Vishnu, then he realized that, so many millions and millions of Vishnus. Then Krishna expansion and then, so then gopas become like that. So he was, he can now accept that this Krishna, little boy, covered boy, is actually Krishna to Swami Bhagavan. So he is the Swami Bhagavan, but for his pastime from Goloka Vrindavan, he appeared, he is acting like a covered boy, son of Nanda Maharaj, son of Yashoda, simply like a friend of all these covered boys who may be looking or wearing dirty, dhoti. They were using simple dhoti. They didn't have any chadars to sew up also. Simple dhoti. So he accepts, so he begs forgiveness. So basically, we living entities are simply like a glows. That fireworm, night time it will glow. So in the night time, sometimes you see, this worm they will fly and it will feel like glow. At that time fire is thinking, look, the entire universe is dark. Now, because of me, some light is going. So our situation like that fireworm only. And we with our tiny brain, trying to understand and speculate this Krishna, who is the Supreme Bhagavan. So like that it happens. So you can see even such bewilderment happened to Shiva also. Many examples are there. So that's why Narada Muni is saying that exalted persons like Lord Shiva, Bhava and Padmajadivi, even they are not able to describe, pursue fully the glory of Supreme Person of Godhead. This happened to Shiva also. Shiva once, heard about Mohini Rupa. You all know Mohini Rupa. Immediately he took his bull So then his wife Uma together went to where Lord Vishnu was. He says, I heard about your very beautiful farm. Can you please show me? He said, Shiva, no. My farm in the Maya, no one can resist. You are keep putting yourself in trouble. But Shiva won't say, no. I am known to be the best control of senses in the entire universe. He's boosting. So then, yes, okay. So at that time, Lord has assumed the form of Mohini, the beautiful Mohini. At that time, Shiva saw, then as slowly this Mohini started going far away, playing around with the ball and all, then Shiva also started running behind by leaving his wife. See, imagine, Uma, there is Parvati Devi there next to you, Shiva is there and the bull is there. Then Shiva is leaving all these people and started running everywhere. So then everybody was laughing at him. So even all the other sages, running around. So run everywhere. Then even he was discharged his semen also. So much difficulty. So you can see, even Shiva can also get bewildered. Of course, Indra bewildered several times. We heard about Govardhan Leela. So where Indra wanted to test, is this small boy who is telling everybody that they don't have to perform my puja, instead they perform Govardhan puja and discard me. So like this it happened. Anyway, so you can see the Shiva, Brahma, Indra, many devatas are bewildered. And obviously one living entity also can easily get bewildered. Now, understanding Krishna. How do we understand Krishna? So we have the living entities here. In this universe, we all think everybody in modes of material universe. So somebody in ignorant state, somebody in mode of tamoguna, this is rajoguna, some are in sattvaguna. Can they understand Krishna? This is a difficult question. Prabhupada says, there are many politicians, many scholars, jnanis with high degrees. Now you might be having a degree of Doctor of Philosophy, highest education qualification from the best university in this earth. Can this person understand God? In the physics, the people doing research on physics, particle physics research. This particle has its energy. How is this particle has energy? What to speak of the whole universe? Even the small dust particle, they have energy. So how do we know how much the energy of God? What is the source? For that purpose, big experiment is conducted. So in Switzerland, they built something big, cave with high energy particle accelerators, and they accelerate the particles, and there will be smash a particle, and then see how much energy it generates, and then the research is done. They call Higgs boson particle. Anyway, they discovered, there is energy. Then what is the name particle? So, some people call the boson particle, and now they said, this is for explaining this to common people. They said this is God particle. And because of discovery, they got Nobel Prize. Like, you do something amazing, somebody give you a prize. In Australia, they give the Australian of the Year prize. On Australia Day, they need to honor one person each year. And that person will become the Australian of the Year. Some money also, they will give one medal as well. Correct? Highest prize. Similarly, for scientific community in the worldwide, the Nobel Prize is the highest prize that you can get. You do something unique discovery in science, in physics, in electricity, in medicine, in politics, or in sometimes they have a Nobel Prize, peace prize. So you do something so that this war in various countries will stop. Then if you are a champion of that stopping war, then obviously you will get peace prize, some several $1 million. Okay, so that scientific also get. So this particle, small particle, has this energy. So you couldn't trace what is the source of energy. So therefore call it a God particle. Correct? So Krishna says, even us, living small, tiny living entity, he says, Mama amse jiva loke jiva bhota sanatanaha. So all these living entities in this world are part and parcel of me. If we are part and parcel of Krishna, Krishna is the Satchidananda, we should also have Satchidananda but tiny. Krishna is like an ocean of water, we are like a drop of the water. Now to consume this Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now go behind this living entities to transcendental entities. So those who are transcended this modes of material nature. How do they pursue? So here in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam also, he says, Brahmeti Parameti Bhagavaniti Shabdate. So this Supreme Personality of Godhead, so some translator says Brahmeti, Brahman, impersonal Brahman. Some say Supreme Personality of Godhead, Parametmi, Paramatma, localized, representation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Partial. Then others call him as a Bhagavan, Brahmayati. Then of course in Sri Iswaram, you hear about this Om Purnam Adam Purnamidam. So this complete whole Supreme Godhead is always complete and perfect. Even though many are emanating from him. See, we say, Krishna is saying that all these living beings are part and parcel of Krishna. If we emanate from Krishna, is Krishna's power decreased? Is Krishna's opulence decreased? No. Even though Vishnus appear from Krishna's body, even though many devatas appearing, even though we tiny entities are also coming out, part and parcel. So even then, Krishna is full. It is not like materially. Okay, here the glass has this much of water. Now I drink. What happened? The amount of water here decreased. Correct? So this is a relative word. That is why we say this is a relative word. This universe is relativity. Whereas Krishna is the absolute truth, supreme absolute truth. From supreme absolute truth, even though so many words are coming out, material words, spiritual words, even though so many Vishnus are coming out from him, so many living entities are coming out, but he is still Purna. So that is the absolute truth position. Correct? So this is what I give example. Other example, if you have got 1 million, let's say $100, $10 notes in your pocket, you go to Hundi and put 20. How much is left in your pocket? Only 80. But if you are absolute truth, you have 100, you put 100 into it, still 100 is there in your pocket. Or maybe more actually. Correct? If you are absolute truth, you put 100 into Krishna. Krishna will say, oh, very nice devotee. Let me make this into 1 million. You might have 1 million in your bag. Correct? It happens. But that is our Supreme Personality's magic or mystic power. So he can bestow you. Correct? He can karpa. He is the one who can give you karpa. He can make you karpa siddha. Correct? Even though you may not deserve, it can happen. So this can happen with the lottery. Correct? It can happen here also. Okay, somehow by luck you purchase $10 the lottery of Victoria, then you happen to win. Suddenly you invested $10, then if you happen to be the first prize winner, you have a lotto first prize, that will be 100 million. So these mystics are also shown here. So we are creating those artificially. But Krishna can do. So now you can understand all this. So actually, what are the understanding? Each one of them are true in their sense. Just like, these kids are studying. We say as a student. Somebody is studying, doing PhD at Melbourne University. We say still student. Somebody is doing bachelor, we say still student. They are students only, correct. But a different level of students. Some are at the elementary level, some are the medium, graduate level, some are highest PhD level. They are all students only. Similarly, here perceiving Supreme Lord, we are perceiving at our own level. So the impersonalists Jnanis, with their mental speculation, they are speculating. Supreme Person must be like this. He is all pervasive, omnipotent everywhere. Therefore he is light, Brahma Jyoti. So what is this Brahma Jyoti? Actually effulgence of Krishna. Correct? So when we switch on this light is there. What is this light? It's simply manifestation of energy that is coming from the power source. Correct? So this is not happening by itself. Correct? We are charging this mobile phone for broadcasting. How is it getting charged? Prabhu? Not by itself. So we connected there and the power is coming. Where is it coming from? It's coming from the power source. We might say here, but yes, that is also true. For one instance, it's coming from wall socket. Yes, it is true. Correct? But actually it is connected to the higher source. If that source is stopped, all this will not be useful. So like that, the first level of realization is what we call Brahman realization. That is Sat feature. We say Krishna is Sat Chit Ananda. Brahma says, Iswara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Rupa, Satchidananda Vigraha. So this Supreme Lord is Satchidananda form. So these Brahmans are yelling just Sat part, that is eternity. Yes, this is eternity. Eternity, long time. The next is Paramatma. That is Chit part. Sat and Chit, they are realizing both. Chit, Jnana. The yogis. Yogis are meditating on their heart and they can see the Lord in their heart. They can see a Lord in Gokul heart. They can see a Lord in Surabhi heart. They can see a Lord in this heart. Correct? So they are Sat-Chit too. Then finally, the devotees, Bhagavan, Brahmeti, Parameti, Bhagavan iti Shabdate. So they realize the Supreme Personality of God, Absolute Truth, as Bhagavan is a person. So they are realizing all three. Sat, Chit, Ananda. So that is why devotees are in more blissful state, because they are connected with the Supreme Lord. So when you become pure, that time, when you are in the beginning, may not be. So this is how one can understand. So you can see, even the different personalities, Brahma and all, they are also not able to describe fully. So similarly, here also sometimes transcendentalists, there are many examples. They have this different realization. We have this, for example, even the 4 Kumaras in the beginning, Brahma's sons, 4 Kumaras. So they were also initially, Jnana Yogis, like impersonal, imperialist. But they became devotees. So when they, when they went to Vaikuntha Loka, that time they got the fragrance of Tulsis into their nose, and they became, from there they became like a devotees. So they can be transformed. So when a Jnani matures and then comes in, get the glimpse of Supreme qualities, then they, still further. Correct? Initially you think this is the limit. But you realize, actually limit is actually behind, and you see a Supreme Lord. Yes, so that's how they became. So there are many examples of those. Even Adi Shankaracharya, a celebrated translated. Adi Shankaracharya is well known, globally also. Dvaita philosophy, correct? Non-dual. So his philosophy. But in the beginning he also preached more like a Jnana, just to drive away this teachings of monism or Buddhism, because he didn't accept Vedas. So to re-establish. So he did that way. Then later he also composed Bhaja Govindam. So he promoted Supreme Lord One. Then sometime even the living being, people like us, correct? So we did say become Sanskrit Pandit. Let's say you, instead of studying in the Albert Park Private School or Middle Primary School, you study Sanskrit. You become somehow Sanskrit Pandit, very scholar, erudite speaker. You can speak very nicely. You can read Sanskrit very nicely. Maybe you can compose few things also. Some of these people also try to translate Bhagavad Gita. They took Sanskrit Bhagavad Gita, so that other people can understand in English, other languages, they translated. So when Prabhupada's time in New York, when he went, that time there were 70 editions of Bhagavad Gita. The original Bhagavad Gita, everybody translated their own way, and they gave their own purport based on their own perception and their own understanding. Correct? So everybody has their own view. So what is the true view is important. So many people have read those books also. So for example, there was one edition of the book by Radhakrishnan. Radhakrishnan was a president of India once, correct? So he also did. Like that many others have done. So Prabhupada said that, okay, I agree, there are 30 editions of Bhagavad Gita. So many people worldwide have read. Has anyone have they produced at least one devotee? Imagine you read Bhagavad Gita several times. By reading this, have you become a devotee? Maybe you are able to speak very nicely, but what is the use? Correct? Unless you become a devotee. The goal of Bhagavad Gita, goal of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, why are we reading? Not to waste time or just derive some joy of hearing some katha. Right? So we want to transform our heart. Our heart, when it is transformed, so become pure, then we develop love of Krishna. So then we achieve that highest perfection stage. Through that we become pure devotee. So when you become pure devotee, you are always in Satchidananda. Whether you encounter praise or a blasphemy, you are always happy. So that devotee they didn't become. So that is why Prabhupada said, that is why I have created this Bhagavad Gita as it is. So this was the question asked to Prabhupada when he was giving classes. Some of the Americans came to class and asked, Swamiji, so many books are there. Why we need another one? He says, yes, they are there, but they are personal view. But whereas this is as it is, no any personal edition, as Krishna intended. Who can do that? Only the devotee. Only devotees who knows that. Correct? So that is important. Krishna himself says, Bhaktyamam abhijanti. Krishna says, I can only be understood by devotion. You try to understand Krishna by becoming a richest person in Australia. Will you understand Krishna? No. You try to understand Krishna by becoming a most powerful person in Australia, president or prime minister of the country. Can you understand Krishna? No. Correct? You try to understand Krishna by being most powerful? No. So these all are only speculation or trying to imitate some qualities of Krishna. But you can't become Krishna nor you understand Krishna. But Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktyamam abhijanti. One who become a devotee, he can understand me. So that is, understanding Krishna is hard. Because Krishna is the, all-powerful. And so, and all-powerful means Virasya. And of course, all riches, Aishwarasya. Then of course, and this Aishwarya is complete, not like relative timing. Then of course, he is the most Jnana. Then of course, plus on top of it, Vairagya, renunciation. So here, the verse, we have those words also. So Krishna's quality. So now the devotees, so he says, the devotees, Maunena Bhaktyopasena Pujitaha. So the various devotees who are performing worship, who are they? They are the one who is perfect in observing vows of silence. Mauna Varta. For whole year, I am not going to speak to anybody. Can you do that? 1 year, Mauna. Not talking to anybody. Even though people may be doing all sorts of nonsense around you, but still no talking, no opening your mouth. But there are some yogis, okay, he says, now I am going to take Mauna Vrata, fully concentrate my mind on Supreme Personality of Godhead, trying to realize, go behind this, transcend this material thinking or material modes of nature. So there are some who do Mauna Vrata. Such people, such personalities are performing devotion. Then of course, next are yogis, Ashtanga yogis. So they are doing thousands of years of tapas. Like for example, Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra performed tapas for more than 10,000 years. 10,000 years, not eating, drinking water, not having prasada, 10,000 like that. So some are doing 100,000. So much of tapas they are doing. Then, of course, some are renounced. You say, okay, renounce everything. But sometimes Prabhupada says, this renounce is more like a Markatta Vairagya. Even these monkeys also renounced. What is the renounce? They renounce the cloth. Correct? Monkeys are not wearing any cloth. But their mind is filled with sensual desire. So that kind of Vairagya is not helpful. Then of course, devotional service. Devotee is also performing worship of Lord. So they are worshipping. So he's saying that such a personality, whom all of these are worshipping, be pleased with us. Okay? So you can see, of course, Krishna, you can see he is richer than anybody else. He is most powerful than anybody else. Correct? No one is stronger than Krishna. And no one is as famous as Krishna. And no one is as renowned as Krishna. So he possesses these qualities fully. That is Supreme Personality of Godhead, such a quality. But such person, even he had, Krishna, when he appeared in Vrindavan, when he married, how many wives he married? Like I married only one. Whereas Krishna married 16,108. Not only that, he had 16,100 different palaces and each palace is occupied by one wife. Not only that, he is not like one person, one day here, one day there, one day there. No. So he expanded himself into so many farms, and everywhere, some places he is helping wife, some places he is playing with kids, some places he is performing puja of the cow. If Surabhi comes, perform puja of Surabhi also. Krishna is the, cows are very dear to Krishna. And then some places he is, maintaining the house. All things are happening. So this was observed by Narada Muni. Narada Muni was thinking, how is Krishna managing so many houses he married? One day he goes there. He sees, he goes to this house. Some activity is happening. Krishna is busy, engaging, taking care of the sons. So he had 10 sons from each and every wife. 10 into 16,000, 108. So many, correct? Lakhs of lakhs. But in each place he is engaged. So this is the power, potency of Krishna. Correct? So only Krishna can do it, not we. So, so that is why he says, to be pleased. If you want to be pleased and happy, so you need to have this. Anyway, so how do we please Krishna? Ourselves, in simple way. So we can please, Krishna also says, simple, here in Bhagavad Gita he says, Manmana mad bhakta mad yaji mam namaskaru. So in simple ways, we can please Krishna in 4 ways. So so Krishna is saying, Manmana mad bhakta. First, become my bhakta. You become a devotee of Krishna. Then think of Krishna, Manmana. So our mind is there. Mind is going to think all the time. Correct? Mind is always thinking. Thinking this, thinking that, thinking that, thinking that. So therefore what do? Why don't we think of Krishna? Why don't we think of highest divinity? Engage your mind in thinking pastimes of Krishna. Correct? Then you become Krishna's devotees. Mad yaji, mam namaskaru. Namaskar, when you come to temple, what do? Correct? So you do one obeisance to Krishna. Okay? You please the Krishna. Then you worship Krishna. So okay, the pujari is worshipping Krishna. Of course, because you are seeing the pujari of Krishna, therefore you are also worshipping. Correct? So you are worshipping, that doesn't mean that you have to physically do there. You can worship in mind. There are some devotees worship Krishna, Supreme Lord Narayana, in the mind in a very opulent way. Let's say you are a poor person, don't have so many. But you can in the mind imagine. You built a opulent, the best temple in the entire universe. Imagine the mind. Then you take a very opulent paraphernalia, go and you create an opulent vigraha of Supreme Lord. Then perform opulent worship and imagine whole universe is with you and everybody is chanting and dancing. You can do in the mind. Then you are offering opulent bhoga to Krishna and you are preparing opulent bhoga Krishna. Correct? So there was one Brahmin did like that on one of this Godavari river. Because he was a poor Brahmin, he thought, what do? I am a poor person. Correct? So therefore he heard while passing by there, he heard one Śrīmad Bhāgavatam discussion. He said, you can perform puja of Krishna in mind. He thought, oh, this is a very good idea. I am a poor person, but let me do that. He did like this. Even he said, one day he prepared a kheer, and he wanted to offer Krishna. He wanted to make sure that kheer is not too hot. Correct? You just made it. If it's too hot and give it to Krishna, Krishna will eat it, the tongue will burn. Thinking like that. Oh, let me just test. Test means not take and eat, but he just put a finger like this. Put finger just to see it came to like little warm, not too hot. He put like this, it was very hard, then he actually removed and finger burnt. At that time Lord was laughing. Yeah, it can happen, you can do all in mind only. Mind is very powerful, correct? It's very powerful. You can create the entire universe in your mind. So it's very powerful. So you can engage all these 4 things and by this you can please Krishna. And then here Prabhupada says in a purport very nicely, absolute truth is sought by different persons in different ways. But this Krishna still remains inconceivable. They can't conceive, bewilderment. However, devotees like Pandavas, Gopis, covered boys, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, Varsana don't need to practice this conventional process of meditation to attain Supreme Person. Got it? Usually you want to attain the Supreme Person. How do you do? People are performing tapas for hundreds of years. You go to Himalayas, find a cave where no one comes. then in that place you perform tapas, then some may become successful, they realize Supreme Lord. Lord may give them a darshan. But whereas here, these covered boys, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Maharaj, they are not doing, they don't have to do all of this conventional method. Because they are with Krishna, and Krishna with them in thick and thin. Thick and thin means in all kind of circumstances. In danger time, difficult time, good time, all the time Krishna is with you. You don't have to do, all this conventional process. That's why Krishna is saying that. Because they are in prema platform. We see when we say bhakti, we say 9 stages. Start with some faith. Okay, I'm going to work. Anyway, the work is in university and I'm going through the same dank street. Let me just come and do an obeisance and go. Correct? Some devotees come. Just before going to office, they come and do a never, So they may not be in the morning or Mangalarti, but at least during going to office, they come and do obeisance and go. Correct? So faith is there. Through faith, they started some bhakti process. So that faith, then as I'm coming here, looks like there is something happening here also. Instead of coming exactly at 8:30 or 40, why don't I come a little early? Let me see what is happening. 7:30. Correct? So you start associating. All right, 7:30 kirtan over, you go home. Slowly say, some people are sitting here hearing, you become curious. Let me hear what they are saying. Then you start making friendship with the Sangha. That is Sangha. Then of course like this you progress. Finally, the final stage you reach the prema. Prema stage, you don't know anything other than Krishna. And Krishna says, even I also don't know anything other than these devotees. Correct? Imagine, you don't know anything other than Krishna, and Krishna says, I also don't know anybody other than Krishna. That is why Krishna is with them, thick and thin. And these covered boys are not following any meditation. Correct? The people just have a glimpse of a Lord. Dhruva Maharaj, first time he has to perform several months on one foot, and Yamuna bank, and then without eating, he had a darshan of Lord Vishnu. Whereas these covered boys, together with Krishna all the time, so much of joyful, mothers are joyful, so they are not performing those. So it is only for us, because they reach their prema stage. So we can't take this, Nanda Maharaj, or covered boy, didn't do any meditation, didn't follow anything, so I also don't do anything. Right? So let Krishna be with me also. Maybe. So if you are a Kripasiddhi, it can happen. Correct? Sometimes people say, this person has got a PhD. This person has got a PhD. But he has studied so much and got it. But why should I do? I can get a PhD. They're like that. Sometimes you can get. So those are called honorary PhD. Once in a year, like Melbourne University gives honorary PhD. Among thousands and millions of people in this world, one person will be selected. Okay, here is honorary doctorate for you. Correct? You can't say, let me also be lucky. Maybe I'll get that honorary doctorate. Therefore, I don't need to study this primary school, high school, college, this and that. Finally get a PhD degree. Correct? That is the sadhana, practice, so much of austerity, so much of tapas, so much of effort you have to put, time, effort, money, everything. But whereas some can get it. Correct? Those are once in a, like a lottery. Correct? Lotto, this lottery. So everybody can't wait for this. Sometimes it happened, like Ajamil. At last breath he was able to remember Narayana. But actually he remembered his son Narayana. He knows, Krishna knows, this fellow, earlier he was a devotee. Now that he is made a Sangha prostitute. Krishna said, okay, all right. So he has done so much of, at least last let him remember me. He says, okay, what do I do? He is not going to remember me. Maybe let me make one of the family member name as a Narayana. He inspired from inside. But usually these fathers attach to the last son or last daughter. Even though there were many, many sons and daughters, but and the last brother is coming. Because why they attach? They think, this is a small one. All others are mature, they have their own wife and husband and all, they all are settled. Whereas this last one is not yet settled. Only 10 years. And then this person is about to leave your body. At that time his concern is all about this only. I have one last son, 20th son. Right? He has got 20 kids. One of them last one. Still 10 years. In primary school. Who will take care of him when I leave? everybody is married, they're gone. They may not take care of him. So he is remembering about that. That time he says, Narayana. When Vishnu, Yama's messengers came. So Krishna can inspire. That is the Kripa Siddha. Correct? So we can't go further. Anyway, we have to perform all this austerity, and so this way we can purify our existence. So with it, let me summarize. You can see this verse is clearly saying that even Bhava and Padmaja Devi, that even the Shiva and Brahma, who are exalted personalities, who can live for 300 more trillion years, even they are not able to pursue completely Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, Narada is saying that Lord, be pleased with us. Narada Muni is saying, correct? So even we also have to do the same thing. So even the Brahma is not able to understand, Shiva is not able to understand fully, then with my tiny brain, what can I understand? So let Lord be pleased with me. Therefore, I just became a devotee. Simple way of pleasing Krishna. So pleasing Krishna is very simple. Even sometimes we say, Patram Puspam Palam Toyam. He is saying that you don't need to make a big opulent thing. Just you can offer even as a Patram, Paspam, Phalam, Toyam. He is not hungry. He is not thirsty for your glass of water. Correct? Where I am thirsty. Just by speaking 50 minutes, feeling thirsty several times to drink. But Shiva, Krishna is not there. He is a self-sufficient. But he give a chance out of, Kada's mercy. All right, you put one flower to me. Okay, I am very happy yet. So you automatically, you please him. Correct? Very simple. So Krishna is not like a demanding God. So he's the father of everybody, just like your material father also. If your small baby comes and gives you one small, grain of rice and puts into your mouth, you feel so happy. You know that the boy is making this rice. Somebody made, he's eating, but father is saying, you will take this, father, you have it first. So father feels very happy, says, okay, all my wealth, whatever I want, is all belong to you. Just by mere that action, that love. Correct? So love, we have to develop that love. So only by devotion we can understand Krishna, so that we have a clear understanding, and by doing that we understand full feature, Satchidananda. Otherwise our relation will be either Sat feature as impersonalist or Sat Chit, both. The eternity and knowledge feature as yogis, and then when you become a devotee, then you have Sat Chit Ananda. And then when you come to this pure prema stage, at that time you are full Satchidananda connected. Correct? Quantity may be less, but you are constantly engaged with Krishna's thoughts. So happy all the time. And then such a pure person, whether he is in heavenly planet, hellish planet, or Vaikuntha planet, he is always happy. He is engaged in service. Obviously, our goal is to go back to one. But if Krishna wants you to do certain work, they are happy, they are no problem. He says they are ready to go to hellish planet for Krishna's order. That's why if you see, those of you who entered the notice board, the first in the corner, you will see Prabhupada's statement. He says, as soon as you offer yourself to be enjoyed by Krishna as a servant and serve him according to his order. Okay, Krishna, I am yours. But you have to serve according to his instruction, not your way. Correct? Let you serve Krishna. So then you are immediately in spiritual world. This is a statement by Prabhupada. He made here in this temple, on that Vasasana. Correct? This is very famous. Everybody in the worldwide use this quote. You see, Melbourne is glorified because of Prabhupada. Otherwise, who would have known Melbourne? Few materialists. Correct? All the transcendental personalities, devotees, people, devotees worldwide, they know this statement and they state this. So as soon as you offer yourself to be enjoyed by Krishna, act according to his order, you are immediately in spiritual world. If you want to remain in spiritual world, this temple is spiritual world. He says, we are not living in Melbourne. This temple is not in Melbourne. It is Vaikuntha. It is Vrindavan. So if you stick to this temple service, which is Krishna's service, then you are not in the material world. You see? So this is the way to please Krishna. So simply, so with that you are in spiritual world. With that, let me stop here. So thank you all for being here, coming in the beginning, coming at the end, doesn't matter. The message is to please Krishna by becoming a servant. Then serving according to Krishna's instruction. So he has given in Bhagavad Gita, you read. So follow just one verse in your life. Make that is the goal of your life, just one verse. Sarva dharma parityajya mameka sharanam. Okay, if that is too hard, don't worry. Patram puspam phalam toyam. Krishna made even more easier. Correct? You can offer a drop of water, a leaf or a flower or one fruit. So please Krishna. Of course, another one, manmanama bhavta. So you can think of Krishna. For that, even if you're not temple, you can be in wherever you are. Correct? So you may be working, that time also you can think of Krishna. Correct? There are many ways. Okay. So before we conclude, let me at least answer this one. This question was given by a devotee. So Prabhuji, you mentioned how Brahma Jyoti is also the manifestation of Krishna. It is not different from Krishna. So then, why Srila Prabhupada criticized Mayavadis so much believing in Brahma Jyoti, which is also part of Krishna? Yes. So when we see Prabhupada in a purport, he blasphemes Mayavadis so much. Why? So yes, those impersonalists or Brahman realization, Brahma is a partial representation of Krishna. So what these Mayavadis think? Why Prabhupada is so much strict, criticizing them, very hard on them, is because they think, okay, Krishna is a supreme person. Then they think, I am part of Krishna. So when I merge into Krishna, I become Krishna. So Krishna's existence is lost, or my existence is lost. Just like analogy they give. So when you take a drop of this water, put into our ocean there, can this drop of water become an ocean? No, it's a drop of water. Even though it merges into ocean. Superficially you might say, oh, my drop has become an ocean. So this way, so they are killing the existence of Krishna, or even killing their own existence. They think that now I merged, I became Supreme God. So that's why they say, you are God, you are God, you are God. Yes, we have a particle of a God, we have small quantity of God, but not God. Correct? Quality is there, but quantity is not there. Correct? So, ocean is ocean, drop is drop. So because they are killing the existence of Supreme Lord, so that is why he is very hard. So that is why he is encouraging them. Why don't you go a little deeper? When you go to ocean, when you go deeper, what do you find? Correct? You go deep into the ocean, you will find pearls. Dive deeper. And you will find inside there are lots of living entities are there, not just this water. So similarly, if you go deeper, you will understand that Bhagavan is actually a supreme person, he is not a light. Right? He is a supreme person. So recognize that. So he is encouraging. Otherwise what happens? They are transcendentalists. But because of teaching, people will be misled. So then they will be following this path. And then forever they are in this world suffering. He is saying that why you make everybody suffer? You are going to suffer. On top of it, because of your eloquent speech, correct? Because they can speak very nicely, and everybody is fed, all these ignorant people, and they follow it. They think, I am God. And then drinking alcohol, like this. Intoxicated, they think, I am Krishna, Supreme Bhagavan. Like this state, going and falling into ditch. He doesn't want that to happen. So that is why Prabhupada is criticizing, no other reason. Yes, so it's a partial representation, but this will just keep you in the here. The goal of all the translators is to help everyone, help themselves, help everyone to go back to spiritual world. Don't keep them here. That is one. Second, don't kill the existence of Supreme Lord. Krishna Lord is there. Don't try to become a God. God is there. He is there. Correct? That's what we call Advaita and Dvaita philosophy. So, Dvaitva, duality, this is non-dualism. So you say, oh, everybody is same, everybody is same, everybody is same. Then this will create a confusion. The people are, of course, it will take them several lifetimes. From this jnana to come to bhakti, it will take several lifetimes. But when there is an easy process, why not take it? Right? Why not? Why simply mislead everybody? Give a very long pathway. Easy pathway is there. Krishna is very kind. Come. But that is also pathway, no problem. But they will take lifelong life, so many lifetime. Yeah. So that is why he was very hard on impersonalist. Yeah. Yes. But as we see here, Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya was impersonalist because he came for that mission. But at the end of mission, when his goal is established, he said, okay, this all said, but Bhaja Govindam. He says, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamate. So he transforms slowly into that. So that is why when the Jnana matures, then the bhakti begins. But if you can start the bhakti immediately, it's even better. You don't need to read the Vedas for 10,000 years and master it. Correct? You can take a bhakti, then perfect it and go back. That's the goal of life. Become Krishna's servant. Develop love of divinity. So then by that you also become divine. Yes, you will automatically assume divine. That's why we say when you go to Loka, your farm will be like almost like a Lord Narayana farm. Your opulence will be like him. Correct? That means that you become Narayana. You are just like, all the people are there. There is a person also. One person is a prime minister, I am just a simple citizen here. Correct? Yeah. So he is a person, I am also a person. He is also a citizen, I am also a citizen. There is some distinction. Correct? So Prabhupada wants them to see that Supreme Bhagavan is absolute, complete Supreme Bhagavan. From him all is emanating. Even your Brahmajyoti also is part of Krishna. Certainly we recognize that. But this path will simply suffering, only constant suffering. So let us make them a devotee and transcend, go up. Yeah. That's the reason. That was the answer for the devotee who comes regularly. He wrote it because he has to go to school. Any other? Alright, so this is the right time for prasada will soon come. Please have the prasada. Thank you, Hare Krishna.